Well, friends, I'm back again talking about the Jack and Lily Sullivan case. I've got to say, the last couple of days I've been watching this particular individual. I don't know what his name is. I keep forgetting. Some dude that I haven't heard before until I ran a search on his name because there's so many people commenting in my under my videos about this guy and making up bullshit and putting it all over the internet. I guess Ike Mel called him out for some falsified video that he uploaded with the Idaho 4 case. So I didn't know that before. I'll read you what Grok had to say in a moment about it. I don't know the dude. Maybe he is putting out some altered content and that stuff. That wouldn't surprise me, but it's something to consider. Let's see. This Natasha Tapp says this Joseph is a liar and he tends to create false videos and information. Okay. So Natasha's back with another comment. That man is talking a lot but not saying anything. He says he knows everything about these kids, and then he contradicts himself. He clearly said she was on a reserve, and at the end of the interview, he said, I never said she was on a reserve. Again, like I said, he's talking a lot, but we didn't learn anything. Yeah, and here's Raising Grace. I'm not sure I believe that she had a whole group of young women friends helping her. I mean, it's hard to keep a secret, especially amongst a bunch of young people in that sense. But Raising Grace says, I don't know if I believe that she had friends take the kids so she could get away from Daniel. It doesn't make sense. He's not their father. If that were the case, all she'd have to do is quietly tell the RCMP that she was in a toxic relationship and is trying to get away. They would have helped her. I have no doubt about that. I do believe she has something to do with their disappearance, but I don't believe it was for that reason. That's an interesting point. So we all like to think at this point that she rehomed these kids and it was just an innocent situation to remove them from being around Daniel. Well, we're going to have to need some evidence in that sense, but it still doesn't account. No, I haven't seen anything yet that accounts for why the need to report these two kids missing. There's all kinds of ways to get out of a relationship. You don't have to do what you did. There's no need to report them missing when you just wanted to escape a situation. Really? Debbie says, in my opinion, I'm starting to think that he's just making all of this up to save Malaya or Daniel. I don't know which one. Well, the main point here is here comes this Derwid Grady, all of these pseudonyms. He's really trying to plant the seeds of rumors in people's heads. I'd like to think that the kids are still alive, but listen. This individual, Darren Gettys, a.k.a. Derwid Grady, is on the Daily Mail in a picture with his sister, it reports, Grandma Get Gray, which is Cody's mom. He sits there and claims that he's related to Malaya Brooks-Murray. So the whole relationship must be incestuous. They're all related. All products of incest. Is that what you're trying to say? You're related to both of them? But I mean, that's a common thing out east, not just being products of incest. That's not what I'm saying. That everybody's somehow related to the next person over, or so they like to think, through marriage, and they show their, like telling him the rando people that he knows to a bunch of strangers on the internet tells me that you're either full of shit or you're low IQ there, Darren Gettys. And I don't think you're either. I think that you're up to something. Now, it might just be for 15 minutes of fame. It might just be to dodge and get people talking about something that isn't. But this individual, if he is who he says he is, and he's just not using, like, how am I supposed to verify who the dude is? It's you get a picture and a voice. It gives you something to think about, though. Sandra says it makes no sense. He makes no sense. The new Columbo, by the way, I like Joseph's comments. The guy is Daniel's buddy. This guy is Daniel's buddy? Well, he says his son worked with Daniel in that sense. I'm not sure I believe any of that. Because the same picture that this Joseph is using, I'm not sure where he got that. He's got the same mustache as Grandma Gray's brother posted for whatever reason in the Daily Mail. If you can go up and search it right now. Yeah, Lacey, it would mean that Cody and Malaya are cousins in that sense. Somehow. But the guy is probably full of shit. How are we supposed to believe him? Oh, I promise I'm serious. If this information turns out to be false, I'll expose the source at that point in time. Oh, I'm sure you will. This is garbage. Who says shit like that? Somebody who's making up a story. I get suckered into these things. Not that I totally believe it. I tend not to believe anything, but you still have to, intake the information. Sandra is like, seriously, you're buying this? I'm not so sure. Carolyn A. Arnett says, in my opinion, that is two different men. They don't look like each other. That one man looks totally different than the other. One in the nose is so much bigger than the other man. They have two different people. That's not two different people, you asshole. It's the same person, you maroon. Exact same mustache and glasses. One, he looks like he has a booze nose. He's probably a boozer. His booze nose is swollen. See, there's always one out there. You can think whatever you want. Well, let's see. In my opinion, it's just a completely different person. Well, you're not too difficult to fool, are you? This guy should have had a lie detector test. That's true. If he's inserting himself into this, come on. Every lead is supposed to be followed. He's a suspect or a lead or a bullshit artist. That's Grandma's brother. Uncle Darren. This is Uncle Cousin Darren. Oh, shit. Oh, man. So, Joseph Morris, this YouTuber, has been accused of spreading fake news and fabricating evidence in high-profile true crime cases. Notably, the 2022 University of Idaho student murders and the Gabby Petito case. Here's a breakdown of the allegations in context based upon available information. So, in the Idaho murders in 2022, Morris was accused of posting fake audio clip claiming it was evidence from the night 4 University of Idaho students were KI hockey sticked. The audio was allegedly taken from another YouTuber's content, manipulated with added breathing sounds to appear authentic, and paired with a fabricated news story to make it seem credible. That's very clever. Another YouTuber, Melvin Cedeno, that's Ike Mel, called out Morris for his deception, noting that it misled viewers and potentially interfered with the investigation. And former FBI agent Jennifer Koffendorfer commented that such actions could warrant charges for obstructing justice. Well, you get on that, Jen. You get on that and write him a ticket. Emphasizing the harm caused by spreading false information for clicks. Gabby Petito case in 2021. During the Gabby Petito investigation, this Philip Morris allegedly claimed Brian Laundrie was seen live on Instagram while on a boat. A story later debunked as false. Critics on X and other platforms accused him of fabricating his narrative to gain attention and monetize his content. Holy shit, okay. Oh, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. So Morris was also accused of faking proof related to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case or trial. Those specific details are a little less clear. Posts on X suggest he has a pattern of creating misleading content across multiple high-profile cases. So posts on X from 2022 and 2023 show significant backlash from users, including true crime enthusiasts and commentators, who urged YouTube to shut down Morris's channel for spreading disinformation. Some speculated he temporarily left YouTube after the Idaho incident, but later returned with new content. There's no evidence YouTube permanently banned his channel, though calls for accountability persisted. Now, the Moscow Police Department warned against relying on online rumors indirectly addressing the kind of content Morris produced, which could mislead the public and strain investigative resources. Oh, we wouldn't be happening here, would it? Morris's actions align with concerns about YouTube's challenges in moderating misinformation, especially in true crime communities, where online sleuths sometimes spread unverified claims. That's what all we talk about, bro. This reflects a larger issue where low-tech manipulations like Morris's alleged audio edits can amplify false narratives without requiring sophisticated deepfake technology. He's probably doing a study for a university. Well, some X-users suggest Morris threatened litigation against those exposing his lies. No verification or no verifiable evidence confirms that. So Joseph Morris has been widely criticized for allegedly fabricating evidence and spreading fake news on YouTube, particularly in the Idaho murders and Gabby Petito cases. These actions, driven by the desire for views and monetization, have drawn condemnation from online communities and experts, potentially hindering investigations and misleading evidence. However, without a comprehensive review of his entire channel or current status, it's unclear if all his content is unreliable or if he's continued these practices. Always approach such content critically and cross-reference with credible sources, as online platforms can amplify unverified claims. Well, he was full of unverified claims there, and at this point in time, everybody's so thirsty for information, right? Yeah, so take it with a grain of salt. Who knows what's going on? Who knows what in the heck is going on with Jack and Lily at this point in time? I hope they're okay. I hope they're alive. There's a reason that, in my opinion, there's a reason that Malaya has bailed. And it's not just because she's, a few fries short of a Happy Meal. Like they're going through a lot of work to avoid being accountable in this circumstance. She's the one who called 911 instinctively that day. Let's just talk about that big key, that point. Why has anybody just up and called 911 for no apparent reason beforehand, just to get the cops over there in case something happened? No. She instinctively called 911 without verifying the kids just didn't walk around the side of the house, that they're not outside. Daniel's not even back, according to her story, but she already called 911. Well, she waited till Daniel was out of the sight, and then she called the RCMP. But she didn't say that, hey, RCMP, I'm trying to get away from an abusive situation or a Looney Tune here. Can you come and help me out? She said, Jack and Lily are missing. And she has this story. And of course, these people are paid to give her the benefit of the doubt and follow through and search that bush until they're blue in the face. Those kids aren't in that bush. Malaya's not talking. We got Philip Morris over here interviewing guys with pseudonyms who end up being or using the same picture as Grandma Gray's brother. Who knows who it is? The best that I can tell is that this Darren Gettys came from Dolly Vision's channel, Jimmy Williams. I don't think that Jimmy's putting one on in this circumstance. So the person reached out and was verified by I guess, the grandmother, Grandma Gray, the brother of the dude in this picture. So we'll just go show this user who thinks that they're two completely different people, that it's not exactly like that. You scroll down here, there's Grandma Gray. They've got a whole article about Grandma Gray, and there she is standing beside the dude. Same mustache, same smile, same lips, same facial hair, same color of facial hair, same age, same glasses. Oh, they're two different people, though. No, they're not. No, they're not, retard. See, take a look at him. We'll get him right close. There's not too many people going around with the exact same mustache out there. That was an ultra close-up of Darren Gettys. There's that lovely, lovely mustache right there. Exact same mustache, exact same nose shape, except the end and the other one's a little off. He's got a booze nose. It's a little rounder, it looks like, because it's closer. Different angle. And his head's turned. Shadows. Not as light. The light takes the booze nose away. You're getting the extreme close-up of his booze nose, but exact same dude, man. Come on. Oh, look at his handsome, handsome mustache. Oh. What does that say? Niles missed the only way. 4680 says, based on what's happened so far, and the fact that Mom is acting so shady in this case, if CPS had any balls, they'd take the baby completely until we know for sure Mom didn't do it. You know, whether it was unaliving by accident or on purpose or neglect, they need to keep the baby safe. Just the fact stepdad alludes she might hurt the baby if she's upset is a major red flag. Well, that's him talking too. Sharing his worst fears. It might not be well thought out. Is she known for self-harm? Like, what is going on with this gal? What is going on with this gal Malaya? Yeah, Donna, Daniel claims to know what happened, and he's not telling. That's absurd. I wonder if he's just a control freak or just a man making a huge mistake by not telling where those babies are. I think he was saying that there's so much more to this situation that he wants to share. Well, why? I guess you have to accept that answer. That tells me that Daniel kind of knows what went on. And he's letting the RCMP do their thing, and he doesn't want to step on their toes in that circumstance. Why not just fess up and tell the world what went on? What's the worst that's going to happen? Nobody's going to... Well, what is it he's protecting? What are they protecting? It has to be something negative about Malaya, I would expect. It's got to be something negative about Malaya. From Daniel's perspective, I mean. Who knows what it is actually? Because, of course, we'd have a different view of it than they would. So remember, if this shit does turn out to be fabricated by Philip Morris, don't be putting blame on me. I told you to keep your minds open and don't believe anything. It's just interesting, the piece of information that he's bringing. How do we know it's not manipulated? It's not like he hasn't done that before, so I'd be utterly, extremely careful about believing that. I'm a little hesitant now. I'm disappointed. So again, the most important, to me anyway, the most significant part of this interview was something that he's about to say here. And he's talking about the polygraph tests and who took them, and if Malaya Brooks-Murray took one, and she did, and he doesn't know the results of it.
Everything is. The RCMP, they have to keep a tight lip on everything, but there's a lot more that meets the eye with the case.
Is there something that you...
There's a lot more than meets the eye with this case. Such as... For example, these are the things that we want to hear, Daniel.
Think the public doesn't know that you can.
There's a lot more that meets the eye with the case.
Is there something that you think the public doesn't know that you can share, that you want the public to know?
That's a hard one because I don't want to impede the investigation in any way. It is.
Great question. The answer to that, frankly, for all of us is yes, there is, because he doesn't want to tell people on camera in that sense, on the evening news and that. So the answer is yes.
Still missing persons.
Is there something that you think the public doesn't know that you can share, that you want the public to know?
That's a hard one because I don't want to impede the investigation in any way. It is still a missing persons investigation. It hasn't pivoted to any type of criminal investigation. But the kids were seen the day before. I know a lot of people didn't know that. I still see a lot of stuff online that the kids could have been missing for days. They were at a school for days and camera.
He's up there clearing up misinformation, speculation. Come on, let's get to the good stuff, Daniel. Wouldn't you coming out with things and information about the case actually help things? So long as you told the police? The way he goes about describing how he was feeling during his interviews and polygraph examination would otherwise indicate an extremely nervous individual. Wouldn't that be already setting off? It'd be setting off alarm bells in that sense. Telling them already that you're hiding something, you're anxious and nervous about something, some information that you think is going to be revealed. You didn't talk about why you were anxious or why you were scared, just that there was such a sense of relief when they said that you did good on your test. Oh, congratulations. What do you think? You know, it makes no sense. Oh. How did he respond to this question, to that question? He's really identifying all of these things that he thinks. So to us, he's not telling it anything. To the RCMP, he's probably spilt a bunch. God, it's got me so wrapped up.
Test?
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, it did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
So they said, yep, great, thank you, come in for a polygraph test.
Yeah, it took a little while to set up. And
when did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but that would be at least 3 weeks ago, probably.
Why wouldn't you know the exact date?
So roughly 3 weeks
remember?
after the disappearance.
Yeah.
And I think most Canadians wouldn't have any idea what's involved with that. Can you describe the process? You go in and just tell us right from the start.
We go in, sit down in a big comfy chair, and they have multiple sensory pads. You have them underneath your forearms, you have them underneath your butt, and you have them underneath your feet with your shoes off. You have a sweat gland on one finger. You have a measuring instrument for blood flow that goes in and out of your hand. And you have a cuff on your arm for blood pressure to measure your pulse.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question they asked you, did you kill Lily and Jack?
That was the first question they asked you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What went through your mind when someone's asking you that question so point blank like that?
Your mind has a massive release of chemicals, I guess you would call them. It's like your stress levels just astronomically through the roof, and your body doesn't know what to do, because it's not every day the way you're hooked up to machines in an interrogation room where someone asks you questions like that.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of Lily and Jack. Are you accessory to the murder of Lily and Jack? They were all,
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive.
yeah.
There were no questions at all about, did you take them somewhere? Could
No.
they be somewhere?
No.
The police have done a number of polygraph tests. They've done 53 formal interviews.
Any updates, friends? Let me know in the comments section below. Peace.